What's the sexiest Illuvial?
I don't know about sex. I don't the female ranger. She was actually. This is probably a little bit of a leak. I don't think I've said this on any AMAs or in chat or anything, but we have this ability now to offer a promo disc, if you will, for Illuvatars.
Whoa, what's going on, everybody? Today we got Kieran Warwick, co-founder of Illuvium, here with us, and we're going to do an AMA interview with him, and we're going to ask him all the questions that you guys have been asking in the channel. So let's jump right into it. Kieran, how are you doing? Pleasure to have you.
Good, thanks, Paz. How are you?
Really good. Thank you, man. Different categories on the questions. So we have random, about Illuvium in general, and about the games. And we're going to start with random. You ready?
I'm ready. Is that first, before we jump in, are you in your van?
Yeah, I'm in my van right now.
Nice.
You can see right there. It's the front.
Awesome. The studio, I love it.
Yeah, it's been good. I've had sunshine, so I have electricity.
Whereabouts are you at?
I'm next to Lisbon in Copa de Caparica, and there is good internet here. So yeah, sometimes I have to drive around a little bit and find it. I hope the cops don't kick me out.
Yeah, that'll make for good viewing.
Yeah, I hope so. Good content. But not before we get into some of those questions. So the first one is gonna be the random category, and a really important one. First off, from B Banks, which brother can bench press the most?
I don't think Grant has been training, and I think he's injured himself in a snow accident. I don't really know the full details of what's injured, but I don't think he can bench. Aaron hasn't trained in about 2 years, so I don't think he can bench. And I think he's sick at the moment as well. But he does have these sort of like short little T-Rex arms. So normally I would say that Aaron could bench the most, but I actually think it's surprisingly the 41-year-old Kane who can bench the most at the moment.
All right. So next question from Lightbulb: what is the most unexpected piece of advice you ever received?
Probably unexpected is an interesting one. Probably when I had grown my previous business, the Burger Collective. I'd grown it to something like 40,000 subscribers to our app, or users on our app. And I spoke to Kane, and I was like, "Look, man, it's going really, really well, and we've got 40,000 people in 5 months or whatever it is." And he was like, "Shut it down. Terrible. Just shut it down." And I was like, "Whoa, that's really pretty harsh advice." But yeah, I mean, you fast forward 2.5 years later, and it probably was good advice, and I would have been in crypto a lot earlier. But yeah, that's probably the most unexpected advice I've ever been given.
That's really unexpected. Just shut it down. Let it go. It's done.
Get over it. It's absolute doghouse.
Well, alrighty. So next question comes from Cynics Gaming. Where does "that's when the penny dropped for me" come from? When did it start?
I don't know. It was one of these AMAs. I said it, and then I think it's one of the Scrub-a-Dub dad or one of those dudes from Illuvial who just keeps on bringing it up in chat. So I now kind of I just like playing around, and I'll constantly say it now just because he there's a few people that have caught on to it. So I don't know. It's just being playful.
It's a good catchphrase. There's definitely worse. Better than "that's dog shit."
Although that one's probably got a lot more catchy than.
Well, actually, that's my favorite, to be honest. So the next one comes from Mal. He would like to buy you a fine meal. What would you order if he would do that?
A burger.
Burger it is. Which burger? Any specific?
Well, I'm a big fan of these Nashville burgers, which is like it's like, well, I don't know if you guys call them burgers in Europe, but we do here. It's basically a chicken thigh that's deep fried, and it has this like cayenne pepper, and it's like spicy, sweet, and like a little bit salty.
Ooh, I gotta cut you off there. I'm getting hungry, man.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Wow. Alrighty. So the next one from Jasperish, he wants to know how much ILV you have staked. Is that info you're giving out?
I don't actually know. I think it's like maybe 40,000 or 50,000, something like that.
It's a solid number. I'm trying to get a loan to ape in there, but yeah, no financial advice. Obviously, do your own research. Never invest anything you can't afford to lose. That's the
Yeah,
three.
I just stake every bit of unlocked stuff that I have. I stake.
Yeah, it's a good time, definitely. And there comes another question from him where he asked you if you would do an Illuvium beta 1 versus him. So I think they're connected. They want to see how much you got and how much he can take from you.
Yeah, 100%. Happy to. I'm obviously gonna be doing a lot of that. I'll probably be doing them like unofficially, and then once open beta launches and the Leviathan arena is active, I certainly will be giving a few community members a lesson.
Oh, yeah. Can I have a shot at you?
100%. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Nice. Yeah, once we have the frameworks for the PvP, it's going to be nice to have those community nights in the Discord with actually Illuvium. Or are we still going to play a lot of TFT then?
No, not once we have PvP.
Yeah. Why go back to the old dog?
Nope. Won't
Nope.
happen.
Are you going to do a lot of challenges in the Leviathan arena? Like if people challenge you for like 10 ETH, you going to just accept most of them, or you got to have to do some research before that? So it's not a viper in disguise.
Yeah, I got pretty burnt with that, didn't I? But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't mind a wager here and there. I've been known to do a bit of gambling in my time.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're still waiting for you on our unofficial poker table with Vetamore.
When is that played?
Usually on weekends, like once a weekend, we usually try to have a poker table and put in a few bucks and play for it.
Yeah, I'd love to play. I
Yeah,
didn't actually
all right.
know that was happening. He probably asked me a while ago, but yeah, I definitely would play.
Let's do that. I'll send you an invite.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So next one comes from Gypsy King. My question to Kieran would be, as someone who is eager to get their foot into the door of a Web3 DAO company like Illuvium, what is a piece of advice you would give?
Just shoot your shot. Like, just, reach out. There's been multiple times where someone catches me at the right time. And I know, I certainly do the same thing when early on, when we were trying to set up partnerships with different protocols, I just hit them up. I didn't have a big profile back then. And I just reached out to them and said, hey, this is what I'm building. This is what the team is doing, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to be a part of it? And, a lot of the time, especially in Web3, they don't have many people who do that. And so it's just kind of surprising. And they're like, yeah, a lot of people help me out to get to where I am. So I'm happy to help you and your team out. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that about Illuvium and you in general, that you're like, there's not a big barrier to get in contact with you. Like if you hit up the founder of this amazing game, well, they're most likely be up for a chat if you're reasonable and a normal person and everything. Like,
yeah, I don't know how. I mean, I've sort of have a policy that my DMs are always open. You never know what's going to come through in a DM. I
a
can't
lot
get.
of
I get
scams.
every single. Yeah, I get to every single Discord DM, but I've started not being able to get to all Twitter and Telegram and all stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, I try and be pretty open. But yeah, I think Aaron is very similar to that.
Yeah, definitely. I hit up Aaron and I was talking to him, and it was a really cool experience, especially for a small YouTuber like me that you come on and have an AMA with me. I'm honored. It's a
No,
pleasure.
man. I love what you guys do for us. It's essentially it's a pivotal part to our marketing strategy. Speaking with guys like yourself, so yeah, no, happy to come on anytime.
Awesome. All right, let's jump to the category Illuvium in general. And Ace Spade is asking, what's your favorite horror film? And do you think we'll have themed events in Illuvium, such as Halloween?
Don't think we've gotten to the stage where we're planning themed events, but there probably will be like themed tournaments. Like I I'm gonna be a bit. I don't know if you see, but like I love putting on trivia and any sort of like competition and stuff in the Discord. As soon as we have PvP and we're able to put on tournaments, I'll be doing any excuse to put one on. So whether it's Christmas or Halloween or I don't know someone's birthday, I'll definitely be doing it. In terms of my favorite horror movie, probably the Saw franchise.
Classic.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Bloody. Yeah, it's good. I like the idea behind it, that you like have to grind your way out, literally.
it's pretty twisted, but yeah, I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah. All right. So CryptoKid is asking, I would ask Kieran who he thinks Illuvium's biggest competition is.
I don't really think we have like a direct competitor yet, but I would say that there are a lot of games that are building that probably aren't as open as what we are, that are starting to show progress, that I've been fortunate enough to invest in a lot of them. And, I speak to them on a probably fortnightly, monthly basis, and they're growing at really fast pace. And yeah, I would say the whole space is definitely maturing, but there isn't necessarily an auto battler or like a creature capturer or even like an idle clicker that's directly competing with our games on the same level at least.
Yeah. It feels like that Illuvium still has that first mover advantage, and that everybody else is trying to ramp up and kind of shape up behind it, but that we're still out in front by a margin.
It takes a long time to build, right? Like I really, really doubt there's any other teams out there that are building as fast as us. And so not only do we have that first mover advantage, we're kind of getting further and further away from, and you can see that, and from our betas. And once Illuvium Zero Alpha comes out, and once the Overworld comes out, then it's really gonna be known that we have that advantage.
The next question comes from Ray Durbin, and the thought of an ILV MMO blows his mind. Where could this fall on the roadmap? Could there be a collab where your NFTs have utility in other MMOs, like your ramp fee showing up in World of Warcraft?
Well, I don't think
World of Warcraft is a bad example.
No, I don't think we're going to do any sort of collaborations. It's certainly not on the roadmap to do interoperable collaborations with our assets and other IPs. But we're going to be here for the next 20 years. So the thought, I was probably the most addicted to MMOs in out of all the games that I've ever played. Like that's the
Same here,
genre
dude.
which it just there's something about that grind, like 10,000 hours to get up to level 60. Like it's good. It's really, really immersive, and that's what I look for when I like getting addicted to things. And it's not hard, but to keep me addicted to something for a long, long time really takes something that's super captivating. And so yeah, I would love to build an MMO into out of the Illuvium overworld at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I think the most time I've invested in a game is definitely World of Warcraft. And then one day you type in the chat /played and you see all the days that you have been in there. and it's a very shocking realization. And then you realize you have nothing from it. You can maybe illegally sell your account, but that's it. Like you have nothing, and that's what I love about Illuvium, that you will have to show for every hour you spend in this game. You'll have to, not every hour, but you have something in your pocket, like you're getting.
100%.
That's amazing.
That's when the penny drops.
Power to the gamers. Love it.
That's it.
So the next one comes from Sean Stefan. I would like to ask you if you have any plans for ever bringing any of the game modes to mobile.
Yeah, I mean, Illuvium Zero is a mobile game, and so that is definitely going to be, and we're already in the process of scoping out porting Arena over to mobile.
Next question from CJN. If I'd meet Kieran, I would probably pitch him 1 million weird Warcraft 3 mods, tower defenses, hero line wars, footman frenzy, all the kind of stuff. What would you say to that?
I don't know about some of those other modes that you just said, but tower defense is pretty high up there for me. I ended up, I don't even know how many hours I played in tower defense. It was pretty sickening at one point. I got addicted to all the different maps for over like a 2-year period, and then I randomly came back to it. Went to an internet cafe with my friends like 6 years ago or something, and they had Warcraft 3, and we ended up just we left at like 5 a.m. and we got there at like 5 p.m. and we're like, whoa, what just happened here? So the tower defense genre is very dangerous to me.
Yeah, I love it too. Like Legion TD was one of my favorites. So we got Isaac Prong. What kind of other Illuvial games do you have in mind for the future?
We've talked about dungeon crawler, an MMO, MOBA. We've talked about tower defense, as we were just saying, a car racing game, all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff.
Dating apps, crazy.
Dating apps. Yep.
What would be your favorite if you would pick one of those?
MMO. I really want an MMO. I mean, an MMO is great, but spending 10 years building one is going to be pretty daunting. So I would probably like to get my fix of a few more simpler games like a tower defense or, the Cartoon Racer or something like that.
Yeah, makes sense. MMOs are a big, big project.
Huge.
So we got Pico. One day, will we be able to wear VR headsets and fully immerse ourselves in the amazing overworld?
I'm sure one day we'll be able to do it, but it's very, very, very far off in the distance.
Yeah. I guess nice to have, but not needed right now.
Yeah.
All right. James T coming in with the question. I would ask if Illuvium would ever partner with a celebrity in the future, and what dream celebrity would they like to partner with, or would you like to partner with?
It's a pretty interesting question because we're actually in talks with quite a few at the moment. We're doing some really, really cool stuff with the Louvetars, and I'm super glad that we've waited. We always had discussions with different sort of models of how we could do promo Louvetars, but now with this V2 version, which enables collections, we've got it down pat, and this is probably a little bit of a leak. I don't think I've said this on any AMAs or in chat or anything, but we have this ability now to offer a promo disc, if you will, for Illuvatars, and you'll just get the promo Illuvatars in it. We do some really, really cool stuff with like what they're wearing and the tattoos that they have, and we can really mimic your favorite celebrities and brands. And yeah, let's just say there was a reason we brought on Lauren to be head of partnerships, and he's doing an exceptional job when it comes to reaching out to these different brands and celebrities and sporting stars. And I will say that one of them is my favorite. So I'm hoping we can close the deal there.
Nice. Yeah, Lauren is amazing. I've had a chat to him. Really cool dude.
Yeah,
Wow, that's exciting. Promo this.
Oh, it's super exciting for me, and we're like on the cusp of getting a deal done. So I'm like, obviously you won't see it for a while. It's planned for like 2 months after the Illuvitar's launch, and these promo ones are going to be, similar to the different sets. They're going to be, or the different batches, I should say. They're going to be for a limited time only, but gives us the ability to reach 50, 100, 150 million people through the engagement that these brands and celebrities get.
Yeah, that's huge. I know Illuvium has been holding back on some points of marketing because I guess you guys want to have just a finished product before you go all out with stuff like this, and it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Good luck on closing the deal on your favorite.
Thank you.
So Xander has a little similar question to that. What's the biggest celebrity you think you can get to rep Illuvium in the future?
This person's pretty big. He's he or she, I should say, is pretty damn big. So again, I can't say it, and I don't actually want to say anyone because Lauren has made it pretty clear that anything is possible when. So if I say someone and then someone reaches out to them and it potentially ruins things in the future or whatever. Yeah. But I'm thinking the biggest people in the world, put it that way.
Yeah, no limits.
Nope.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. Glenn Reese is asking, how does the studio plan to make its money to cover costs and grow? And if the answer is through refdis of ILV staking, then can there be an exception to the studio's share to be paid in cash rather than ILV to prevent excess sell pressure on the token?
Well, yeah. So it is through revenue distributions. I think we're renaming it to just distributions now. And there's a couple of things that we could do there. But what you got to remember with the distributions are we buy back the ILV. So whatever increase in price, if we sell that portion, it should theoretically level out what we buy, right? So you're not going to see a material difference when that happens. If it was to be causing issues with like slippage and stuff like that, we have the ability to say, okay, the treasury's portion won't buy back ILV and we'll just sell the ETH that we have, which obviously won't affect the token price at all.
All right. That's good to hear. So we got Alex Wukar. I will ask Kieran what he thinks about current council implementations or what improvements can be made to that.
So we're currently in the process of building out our governance V2 structure. It has a lot more complexity in terms of different sub-councils where we have more expertise in particular areas and people deliberating and discussing areas that they are experts in. And then all of that feeds back into one main council, which will end up making the decision, the final decision.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds really good because now it's 5, right? And I guess the more you have, the more accurate the decision making will be. And it's not going to be 20% per vote.
No. Yeah.
So we're coming in with Surf a Dude, friend from New Zealand. By the way, do you surf? I always wanted to ask you that question. You're Australian. In Europe, we have that mind of Australians that they all surf.
I don't surf, but I'm a pretty good body surfer, to be honest.
Nice. I love it.
But
you're closer to the wave. Like you're right in there.
I do this thing where I'm like, my cousin actually taught me, who was like a lifesaver, where you go under the water. So it's kind of what dolphins do, but but yeah, that's a little weird side note.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you're big into tennis, right? Or
I
used to be?
was. I'm not.
Used to be.
Yeah, I used to be. I'm not so much anymore. I tried playing the other day, and I get frustrated if I can't do something as well as what I know I theoretically should be able to do it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I was trying to serve, and serving is one thing. I used to be able to serve at like 210K an hour. Like it was a pretty big server, and now I reckon I could hit it maybe 100 if I was lucky.
That happens. Tennis is a tough sport. I'm sure you got to keep really on it to keep that level.
No, 100%. I used to play
So,
like 6 hours a day at one
wow,
stage. Yeah.
nice. So the question from Surfer Dude: is there anything the community can do to make it easier for you guys to produce everything that is Illuvium?
Just sort of let us do our thing, I guess. Like we've obviously got a well-oiled machine now, and I mean, it's kind of weird saying that because we have a governance process and whatever. And obviously, that should just be there for improvements to the protocol. A lot of the time, I know core contributors are reading in the Discord and people don't have all the context, and maybe they're upset at what's happened with the bear market and whatever. And it affects some of the core contributors when they see things that they know aren't true, or there's judgment laid or whatever, and it's kind of just like, just have some faith, and you've seen that we deliver stuff that is on a higher level than what most Web3 projects do out there. So just trust us that we're never going to release something that isn't up to par and doesn't sort of exceed your expectations. And so yeah, you're doing harm mentally and I get involved in this too, right? Like I'll get emotionally charged up. And I was speaking to Johnny the other day, and he's sort of the same thing, where like, yes, Illuvium 0 is delayed and whatever, but there's constructive ways to discuss things, and then there's just trying to derail us for the sake of getting us to bite. And a lot of us are passionate, and so we will bite, and then they bite back, and then it's like turns into this argument that didn't need to happen, and that might screw with someone's mental state for 4 or 5 hours after. And it's like, well, do you think that's constructive now to have a core contributor or a bunch of core contributors in that department that are now like, screw you guys, like we're doing the best we can, working 12 hours a day? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I doubt that's going to happen, but we can always dream, right?
Yeah, I guess like it's way easier to complain than to spread love, but it helps so much more to just like say a good thing once in a while and not just complain. Especially in the bear market, it's so easy to get frustrated and put it out. And I feel it with myself. If I read like through comments and there's a lot of love and a lot of compliments, you're like, you pushed, you're on that next level of energy and you're ready to rumble. But if you read some negative stuff that sometimes like isn't really like very, there's nothing much behind it than just complaining, and you're just in that, you can't shake it off, and yeah,
it's tough.
yeah,
It stresses you out.
so yeah, let's show some more love for our core contributors because everybody has been doing an amazing job. I've been here for a little while and it's just stunning how good everybody is working, and yeah, kudos.
Thank you.
So we got the next question from the Illuvialist. I'd ask Kieran if an Illuvium trading cards game could be a possibility in the future via the merch store. I'm really looking forward to Illuvitars, but I would love to open a load of physical packs and have a binder full of Illuvials to go with my Pokemon collection.
Yeah, you and me both, but there's a lot to do in terms of like costs associated with printing physical stuff. And theoretically, yes, it is possible. But for now, we're going to stick to things that we can create NFTs for. And Illuvitars is our way of building that collection type game.
Yeah, you can always like get those Illuvitars and print them out and like you can always do it yourself still, and you still own that NFT anyway. So yeah, it's a good first step if somebody really wants the physical. And there's a lot of merch coming anyway, so I think people have enough to get their hands on if they want to in the future.
Very soon.
I heard something before Christmas or around Christmas is one of the roadmaps for merch.
It's
from
going to
Aaron.
be tough. It's going to be really, really tough. But there might be something that you can buy around Christmas time. But in terms of the apparel, which is what I'm mostly focused on, I just don't think we're going to be able to do it in time for the way that we want to, the custom sort of fit that we want to go with. It doesn't, we can't just buy blanks off a marketplace and just go, yep, these are the ones. We're literally making sure that every single detail is looked at.
Yeah, the Illuvium wants to bring the perfect quality no matter what, and quality takes time, right?
100%.
So the next category will be about the games themselves right now, and we have a very, very classic question from CTA Mammon, and he's asking when game. And to narrow that down to a more answerable question, let's say, what is a realistic date for an open beta release?
We don't give dates, but all I can say is, once you see how far we've come with Illuvium 0 and the overworld, and then certainly, if Arena has PvP elements in it by, at the end of this year or early next year or whatever, then you get an idea of how close we are. There's not too many additional things that we need to do to be able to get it to open beta.
Right. Awesome. So Blender ID is asking, I would ask Kieran what Illuvium's expected player base will be in the next year, counting Overworld, Arena, and Zero.
It's a tough question to answer in a bear market, but I mean, if we do our job right, I'd say like between 2 and 5 million players.
Phew!
Big.
That's good. That's a lot. That's a big number. Yeah. Good. So next question comes from Sota. With the rise of AIs, do you think it will be possible for people to cheat in the form of bot farmers or even competitive AI players that will be as strong as the AI used to balance the game?
I mean, look, bots, it's not like a normal gaming system where bots can just where it's a massive grind in terms of just like your time, right? Like it's time plus money if you want to extrapolate the most amount of value out of the game. And so are we really going to be worried if people are playing and they have to pay for a travel fee and curing shards and all that kind of stuff? Like they're bringing value to the game. And as I always say, there's a human behind the bot, right? Like, so it's very, very tough to stop. And I think just the fact that we have our systems hidden, it's going to be very hard. Like it's not open knowledge, how someone is going to be able to build a bot to be able to maximize these things. So we make it hard in the first place. But even if someone was to sort of crack the code, then they're still having to pay to do all of the interactions like everyone else.
Yeah, you just save on a bit of time, but you can't really cheat your way through the game.
No.
That's it. What about the arena specifically, where it's more a deterministic playstyle? So a bot could give you like the best Illuvial to place in these situations. Like, is there gonna be add-ons that are allowed or stuff like this?
When you say add-ons,
like for example, in TFT, I have some site app that shows me an overlay in the game and where I can check out all the best combinations and stuff like this.
There's so many combinations. Like in TFT, there's 38 characters that they give you, or 36, something like that, that they give you. And yes, there's augments and stuff like that, but like the amount of it's probably 5 times more complex than that. So do I think that there's going to be apps and stuff? Yeah, absolutely, right? There's apps that we're working with right now who are building those companion, like they're called companion apps. And I don't think we really want to stop that, because it's a way for people to, firstly, it's very dynamic, right? Like those are set. I use them in TFT as well, right? They're very set. But when someone knows that you're going that comp, they can counter it by changing up their comp to make it a stronger one against you. And it's those people that can think on the spot very, very quickly. They're the ones who, it doesn't matter if you have a companion app or whatever, you would have to be playing, you'd have to be resetting your bot based on what they are changing their team composition to constantly. And it's just, as you know from TFT, like it's tough, right, to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's way more interactive and way more, like Aaron said, speed chess type of game. I like that.
Yeah, it's like a frenzy.
So we got 8 sushi. Oh no, sorry, we got Stinky Feet. And he's asking how the energy bar is refilled in the Illuvium overworld. Do we have to pay to have it instantly full, or do we have to wait a certain amount of time? What actions cost energy? For example, traveling, I guess.
Does he mean like, as in like when you're in a region, what, like the mag boots and the jetpack and stuff like that, or do you mean like?
I think that's what he means. Yeah, the energy you have available when you're in a run in the overworld.
Oh right, yeah. So it's reactivated when you travel again.
All right. So you pay one time the travel fee, and then you get your energy with that, and that's it for the run.
Go around, harvest plants, capture some alluvials, hopefully, and then you run out, and then you go back in again.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It's gonna be
So
good. Yeah. Have you been playing Overworld yet a bit?
I got a new build which I haven't downloaded yet, about maybe 2 weeks ago, and I haven't played that yet. But I played the build that I had before for maybe 4 or 5 hours, and it's pretty cool, man. Like it's gonna be an awesome sight watching everyone jump in for the first time trying to capture alluvials. Like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be so good, and also the streamability will be amazing. So we got Gacha Wade. I would ask Kieran, what are his top 3 favorite illuvials?
You've got Squiz, obviously. That's one. I really like Tatopi. Slappin', I really like. Mammut, I really like. I don't know. I don't have a top 3, I don't think. Like, there's too many that I just love.
Yeah, I can see
But
that.
those 4 are like, I mean, Ramfire is just ridiculous. He's got a new visual effects for his Omega, and that's just sickeningly good. So until I really, really get in, and I haven't really been playing Private Beta 2, not like at all. Until I get into Private Beta 3, that's when I think I'm going to have start getting my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think favorites come with like connection to them. How did you catch them, and how do they perform in arena and whatever? Like,
yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
you can't just do it from.
When I played Private Beta 1, I realized that like Tatopi was a bit like, to me. And then when you see the stage 3, but like how cute stage 1 is, you zoom right into it, and it's like this little snail, right? Like super cute. But then it goes up to its stage 3 version, and it's like it was one of the most effective alluvials in the entire build. And so you start building that connection where it shot off its Omega right at the end when you thought you were going to lose, and it takes out a Ramfire, and you're like, boom, love that.
Yeah, definitely. Same with me with Seer. Like you think you're out, and then Sears starts spinning into 3 rogues, and you just you won suddenly.
Yeah.
We got 8 Ushi or Sushi, still don't know about this one. I would like to know if there will be daily, weekly quests and story mode when the open beta comes out.
We don't have anything planned for quests and stuff like that. I know the story guys, I'd say the game designers are trying to build something like that in, but at this stage it's not in scope.
All right. Lucky's Leisure is asking, Kieran, have you ever heard the screech of a Tasmanian devil? Would be great to add to set 2 Illuvials.
No, I haven't actually.
It sounds terrifying.
Nah, they're not Tasmanian. Like they're like this big, I think.
Yeah, that's even worse. They're so small and they sound like a devil.
Nah,
not
really.
I'm gonna send you the voice of them after the interview.
I think they're only native to Australia, right? Like you don't have them where you are.
No,
right?
Not at all. I watched the video. Like I don't speak from experience.
Right. Yeah. No, it's like a little possum basically that has a big screech.
Yeah. All right. So Brian Wall is asking, I'd ask him if we can have an Illuvium beta 1v1. So we have answered that question. You're up for 1v1s, right?
Yeah, 100%. Let's do
and
it.
My other question to Kieran is, what are Illuvium's projections for number of players in the next 2 years? We also covered that. Billions.
Not financially, though.
No. Then we got Mr. King. Come on. My question would be, what would it be possible to fuse stage 3 Illuvials to roll the stats, as potentially some stage 3s would have not ideal stats and be dead Illuvials for competitive use?
So, no, you can't fuse 2 stage 3s. It's getting late here. I'm at 10:45.
Damn. Yeah, it's early here. Time zones are weird, dude.
It's crazy.
Australia, Portugal, and we got China in the middle setting up the meeting. I got so confused with all the time zones.
Yeah. TSG.
Yeah, but it's amazing. I love that. It's very worldwide, this whole space. We have another question from B-Banks. When I fuse 3 Atlas together, are the best IV, EV stats taken into the evolution, or is it an average of all 3? Or is it random?
Yeah, it's an algorithm where basically it'll either be, it'll be very similar, right? Maybe slightly better, slightly worse, but it'll be pretty close.
Yeah, so there's a tiny bit of RNG, but it should be pretty close to the original.
Yeah, we don't want people to be like thinking, oh no, what if I roll this and what if I fuse this and it ends up being way worse? Like that's not a very good experience. And at the same time, we don't want people gambling and saying, hey, these are crappy ones. I'm going to roll and hopefully I get magically I get a super good one. So yeah, it's going to be fairly static.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough decision. Like those 3 Atlas that I love, I caught this one on this day and then I have to sacrifice them to get an Axon. Like, it should not just happen out of gambling. And you should definitely not like lose in this exchange.
No,
I can feel you. Yeah. So Caleb Stroman is asking, is there any chance that the last Illuvial entries will be used in the future, like the ones we submitted in the past?
I don't know. Maybe we'd have to ask Roger. He does a lot of that. He does a lot of the concepting and choosing of what the alluvials are going to be.
Yeah, that was such a fun contest. I did like 2 or 3, and I had so much fun, like trying to figure out all the abilities and stuff. It's a really cool process to do that. Are there last Illuvial contests planned for future sets? Like, will that be a regular thing?
I think we'll do 1 per set.
Yeah, that's nice. Just a personal question that popped into my mind, because I thought of doing that last Illuvial to make it a tree, because it's about endangered species, and the tree is probably the most valuable species and the most endangered. Is that a thing, that something like a tree and not an animal could be there one day?
No.
No. All right.
I don't think so, no.
That's why I didn't go through with it.
Yeah.
I wanted to win.
I like trees, but I don't like them that much.
Yeah, treant.
No, they're cool. Well, they're cool. They're cool.
Yeah. Well, they have a different role in Illuvial, I guess. Like you fight them, you harvest them, all the plants and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, I say that, and then I think we've got. I haven't seen it yet, but there's potentially a pitch that's coming across my desk to create like a mini game for the plants to come alive and stuff like that. But we'll see where that goes.
Nice. Yeah, that's sick. I love that the static plants have been changed to be somewhat like reactive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Like that's gonna give the world a different. Like it's different to almost every other game out there. I don't really know of many games. Maybe there was one game that we used to play when we were young where the plants would like try and eat you and stuff like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was one of those open world sort of, I don't know, not Zelda, but there was something back in the day, man. And I'm thinking a Nintendo game where the plants
in Mario you get that plant coming out of the tube.
Yeah, no, it was more, I think the game is on the tip of my tongue here. It's Aaron actually said it the other day, like 6 months ago or something. It's like it's definitely a Nintendo game. I'll think of it, and I'll if I remember it, I'll get back to you. But we played it for like, I don't know, 9 months or something, which back then seemed like a lifetime.
Yeah. Let's make it a question for the chat. Do you know? Let us know in the comments if you know the plant fighting game from Nintendo, or if Kieran is just sleep hungover, sleep drunk.
Sleep drunk.
Back to the Illuvials. Are you gonna stick with the endangered, extinct animals in theme in the future, or?
I don't know. It's sort of out of my hands now. Like that was our idea. I think all of us were in agreement with doing that back 2 years ago when we started ideating the first alluvials. Like that was a pretty cool way that we could sort of give a nod to species out there that need a spotlight put on them, and maybe we can help in some sort of way. But again, as I said, I've sort of, apart from that first like 60 or 70 alluvials, it's well and truly been, the torch has been passed over to better, more smarter people than me.
Right on. Yeah, I really like that. That's the theme, that like making extinct, like bringing awareness to endangered and extinct animals. Like the planet is dying. We need some thinking behind.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I have one question here from Illumination. What will be the earliest earning mechanic apart from tournaments and catching NFTs? For example, will there be leaderboards rewarded at the end of each month? Stuff like this?
Yeah, I think there is plans to do stuff like that. I don't know the exact stuff, but we want achievements to be part of it, and we've got a lot of yield to give out in game. So yeah, I wouldn't. Apart from capturing and stuff like that, and battling, there definitely will be some sort of like achievements, whether that's like get in the top 20 of the leaderboards for the day, or top 100, or whatever. There should be something for you guys.
Yeah, it's amazing that you guys are very focused on competitive play as well as casual play, and it's nice to see that both sides are getting rewarded or will get rewarded.
Yeah,
that's nice. So we got the last one of this section from iTube, and he asked, will you be able to give Illuvium Overworld beta access to all the people who asked questions?
Sure. No worries. I'm happy to do that.
Wow. That's big. And there comes my question, because in Town Hall there was said all the people from Private Beta 2 will get overworld access. But I guess that's not in the early stages. Like, it's going to be rolled out slowly.
Don't know about that, but we are tossing up whether we do. It was a very cumbersome process getting into the beta, and we've had issues with giving access to partners and investors and stuff like that. So I actually think we're going to. This is probably a leak because we haven't spoken about it, but it's not confirmed yet either. So I don't want to say this is definitely happening, but I think we're going to cull all of the beta participants, even for Private Beta 2, and not just Overworld. And then we're going to give those people a new invite code, and you'll have a certain amount of time to download the game and get back into it. Just because we have we're counting all 30,000 people, or I should say rather, the back end is counting all 30,000 people, and they're sitting there like, what if everyone activates tomorrow? But from our perspective, we could get a lot more of the community who are, chomping at the bit to get in. We could give them access. And so just from a marketing standpoint, I don't think it's the best system right now. So we're probably going to implement something like that, where you don't lose access technically. Like, we're going to email you out a new code. But yeah, it's just going to be a much, much better way for us to be able to track who's actually playing and stuff like that.
Yeah, reward the active players, same like in the idea of your trivias. Makes sense.
That's it.
Makes sense. Alrighty, that was it with the community questions. Now we come into the shock round, and in this round, I would like you to answer as short as possible.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
100%.
People are gonna flip out. What's your favorite illuvial? Oh, we had that.
Squiz.
What's the sexiest illuvial?
I don't know about sex. The female ranger, she was actually partly modeled off my girlfriend, so I'll say her.
Wow, what a save! Respect. Name the next illuvial. Actually, a question by Chara.
Name the what? Sorry.
Name the next illuvial. Just
what does that even mean?
Like a name out of top of your head for the next illuvial. That could be.
Like, you want me to just come up with it? I don't know. Kukawatu.
Nice. There we go. Now we got some favorite questions. What's your favorite all-time game?
Probably EverQuest.
What's your favorite James Bond?
I don't like James Bond.
Fair. Your favorite book? Question by Kevin K.
Shoe Dog.
Your favorite movie?
Jesus. Jesus. I don't know.
Hard questions.
That's a tough one. Probably Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's a good one. Your favorite dance move, if you have one?
Not looking like a moron.
Nice. That's a good one. So, coming to this or that question, answer as fast as possible. Tekken or Street Fighter?
Street Fighter.
Snoop Dogg or Kanye West?
Snoop Dogg.
An Atlas with perfect stats or Ramfire with the worst stats?
Ramfire.
Overworld or Arena?
Arena.
MOBA or MMO?
MMO.
Zombies or vampires?
Vampires.
Ninjas or pirates?
Both suck.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs, easy.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, I've just gotten into it.
Wine or beer?
both, man. Oh, Jesus. I like both. Probably wine right now, red wine.
All right. Ethereum or Bitcoin?
We know the answer to that. Ethereum.
And 3 last questions. Name of your first car?
It was a Toyota 86.
Name of your first pet?
Rolo.
And name of your first NFT?
Jesus. That would have been this Doki Doki Founders Edition.
That's a good one. Awesome. You made it through the shock round. It was. Sorry for shocking you. That
no
was
worries.
fresh questions. I love it how you got out of the sexiest Illuvial. I felt a bit bad to put that in there, but you made a great escape.
The cops are meant to be coming for you, not me.
Yes. Since we have like just 2-3 more minutes left, I had one question on my mind. Since I'm a snowboard instructor, I was wondering, are you snowboarding or skiing?
Skiing.
And if I ever do a season in Australia, would you be down to bring the LV team to have a stay on snow? I can give like a beginner lesson for people and whatever.
Yeah, so the first time that I tried to snowboard was, so we grew up skiing, and like snowboarding back then wasn't really a big thing. And our dad was a skier, and not like an actual skier, but like that's what he chose to do. My mum used to ski. But I went and tried. Nowadays, like if you don't snowboard, then you're not cool. And like skiing is considered a little bit lame here. I don't know what it's like in Europe, but
I gotta agree.
Yeah, and so I was like, yeah, I can snowboard, and I hadn't skied or done anything on the snow for would have been probably 15, maybe 16 years, and this is about 3 years ago. And I tested out snowboarding. You know, like you're down the bottom of the mountain, and maybe you've got like a 4-degree slope that you're going down, and you're just practicing, right? And I was doing that, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is not too bad. Like practicing stopping by like moving the board horizontal, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm ready to go. Let's go up to the mountain. And I literally got off the what do you call the chairlift? And you got to get off with one boot in, right? Like, and dude, I like freaked out and like just started sliding, and like I put my left foot not even in the thing, and so it was like one foot was in, the other foot was out, but it was like on the back of the board, and I was like, whoa, and I just started going down this mountain, and it was not good. I ended up twisting my knee, and like it was the first run, and I was just sitting in one of the cabins, like drinking a beer, just drowning my sorrows, just like I'm going to be here for the next 5 days with a sprained knee. But it actually ended up, it wasn't too bad. I think I got to go back out after like a couple of days and a lot of ice.
Wow. Did you get back to snowboarding, or that was it?
I haven't actually been back to the snow yet, but my girlfriend is pretty big into skiing, and her parents love that kind of stuff. So yeah, I definitely want to go to Europe and try it out, but maybe I'll stick to skiing until I get some lessons from you.
Yeah, I'd be keen. If you ever come to Switzerland, let me know. That's where we're going to be this season.
All right.
It's a nice place.
Good.
And yeah, skiing is also cool. Like there is some really cool free skiing, and like also some really good freestyle skiing. Like,
do you like go over jumps and stuff?
Yeah, I do like freestyle lessons with the kids and prepare them for competitions and stuff. And we do like indoor with trampoline and shit. It's awesome. Super funny. Yeah, it's so cool. Like when they finally get their confidence to go full speed over it, so they actually clear the jump and they just ride down with hands in the air and screaming. It's the best, man.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
I'm already late for my next meeting.
Yeah, you're needed somewhere else. Well, that's that's what I had in store for you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
No worries. All right, man. Well, thanks so much for having me on, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, bro.
Awesome. Have a great day.
You,
Peace out.
Bye.